Hello and welcome back to Boxing in Wales, the YouTube show dedicated to the amateur boxing scene right here in Wales, where we showcase the best action from the grassroots. We're delighted to bring this episode to you in partnership with Moriarty's pressure washing services right here in Abergavenny, and we're also proudly partnered with Tom Sloan Artist. You may have seen his art here and there because it stands out so much. Take advantage of the offer for the Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. prints that are still available. Remember a truly historic episode in British boxing where the fight that didn't happen caused so much controversy and headlines. And we're proudly partnered with FitBag for this episode. FitBag is the newest, the latest, it's the greatest, it's the best technology training equipment that you can get to benefit and boost your boxing training sessions. Is specific to our sport, and this is why you should look into it. You should know by now, we're 4 episodes in. My name is Dewi Powell. I'm your host for this episode of Boxing in Wales, the YouTube show that brings you closer to the heartbeat of Welsh amateur boxing. I'm thrilled to be joined by a friend of the show, Mr. Kieran Gething, former Welsh amateur and professional champion. And we've drafted you in to talk about these young guns.
Yeah, it's brilliant to do it as well because I was there on the night. It's very entertaining fights to be seen today, and it's a pleasure to be a part of the amateur scene in Wales.
My running theme across all our episodes so far is just how healthy amateur boxing seems at the very, very grassroots levels. You must have seen that firsthand being at these shows.
Yeah, definitely. It looks very, very healthy at the minute. Past couple of seasons, we've been worried about maybe participation in the sport, but there's been a number of clubs putting shows on all in a close area together, so you know some of these fighters can be boxing each other 2 or 3 times, which has happened with one of the rematches on tonight's show. And yeah, it's just a positive thing to make sure that these boys are boxing as regular as they can do, and not have to travel to England to do it, not have to travel all the way to Swansea.
And that's possibly the irony of the pandemic. You know, the pandemic with social distancing and everything that involved pushed so many people together. Pushed so many people apart, where the recovery has seen so many clubs come together and work together.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few clubs out there that my phone doesn't stop ringing with, but we've supplied boxers to their shows straight away. We know that when it comes to our show, hopefully in the new year, we'll be getting their fighters on ours, returning it. Working together in the community. We're a real small nation. You mentioned before, we're a small nation. We produce a lot of good fighters. To increase that rate, we all need to work together.
I'm sure when it comes to the championships, things will be ultra super competitive and maybe not so friendly then, but this is the proper, what we're going to see on this episode in tonight's show is the proper bread and butter, isn't it, of amateur boxing, where clubs, they do share resources, they do help each other out, and it's all for the benefit of the boxers.
And the benefit of us watching it, because there is some cracking fights on there, and amateur boxing isn't built for the fans, but by gosh, it does a good job of entertaining us. Yeah,
there's plenty to enjoy, and we start at 67 kilograms for a senior contest, and we've seen one of the boxers before on Boxing in Wales. That's Cwmcarn from Grange Amateur Boxing Club, and he locks horns with CORY Griffiths from All Saints Amateur Boxing Club.
There is a unanimous verdict, and it goes to the blue corner.
And there is a decision win for Cwmcarn. Maybe the Boxing in Wales cameras are his lucky charm, but no luck, in all seriousness, in that win there. That was a hard-fought contest.
Yeah, definitely. The intensity that both of them had, they well deserved fight of the night.
I know it's another code of boxing, but that was almost fought like two old pros, wasn't it?
Yeah, you have a go, I have a go. It was entertaining. There were some really nice, big, clean shots in there. A little bit scrappy, obviously, but you want to see that. You want to see a bit of grit.
And it was a very good job by the referee. Never really interrupted the flow of the fight, and they sorted out that between themselves.
No, definitely. Steve Presley's a really good referee in the division, and he put on just as good a performance today. Let that go. A lot would get too jumpy on some of those clean shots, but it made for great action.
What are the positive and negatives that each boxer takes away from that?
I think it's quite obvious with CORY. He'd be disappointed he didn't throw his jab. If his coaching's there, he's going to be saying, you need to work your way in. SOLAMAN, I think maybe his lead hands dropping a bit too much, being lazy on the way out. But the positives is, by gosh, Griffiths is pushing on all the time. His fitness is there, and he's throwing solid punches. And Cwmcarn boxed beautifully on the back foot.
And they're both fairly inexperienced, apparently, because like I say, they've boxed beyond their experience or their years in that sense. But they're like diamonds in the rough. You can see they're clearly committed to it. They're both in good shape, and there's a lot that their coaches can work with there.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, I was on the ground there. I heard in the change room that Griffiths had only been boxing 5 weeks, apparently. So
imagine him after 6 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe that's on week 6 they show you how to throw the jab, maybe.
Well, he's got those qualities that you can't really teach. You know, that will to win, not phased by, you know, taking a shot. Although you never want to take a shot, you want to know that someone can in the same breath.
Yeah, don't want to have a glass jaw, and that's one of the first things I say to the kids when they walk in. You know, just enjoy it in there. You've got to really enjoy it in there. If you can look at a punch, though, you know your battle's halfway fought.
Yeah, we've seen Cwmcarn twice on these shows now. He's obviously active, gaining a lot of experience on these club shows. What do you think his ceiling is? Do you think we'll see him in the championships at the end of the year? Or,
Yeah.
sorry, the start of next year?
Yeah, so the novice championships are on the schedule for January next year. I think that's an obvious one for him if he doesn't go having too many fights now. Failing that, he might go straight into the senior championships. And you know, it's going to be a very, very competitive division. Usually is a lightweight, I believe, or welterweight. And there's some really good boys in there.
And we continue with another Stormer, another senior contest as well. This one is at 79 kilograms with Ben Morgan from Abergavenny Amateur Boxing Club taking on Rob Llewellyn from Somerton Amateur Boxing Club.
What a wonderful pair of boxers. Split decision, and the winner is the blue corner. Well done, boys.
Fine margins in that one, a split decision win for Ben Morgan. And yes, you guessed it, I've got a very happy coach sat next to me. Kieran, you've got a vested interest in this one, no pun intended. But Ben Morgan's your boxer, and he showed definite improvements there.
Yeah, from his first bout where everything was really short range and really rushed. He still performed that way at times in that bout, but the way he pulled in the jab and the uppercut is something that we've been working on in the gym, and to see him pull it off in the ring is sweet. And
there were a couple of little moments where he showed that extra little bit of nuance, I guess, and that extra little bit of intelligence, just getting out of the way, creating angles that maybe weren't there if he'd planted his feet and held his ground.
Yeah, definitely. The angle turn, the change of the angles there, and leaving the Llewellyn in the corner, quite natural to him. He's doing it brilliantly. and it's a pity he didn't maybe make it pay a little bit more in the second round. If he'd have changed the height of attacks, he could have come back and maybe got a stoppage there if the ref, was not given the opportunity, the option. But yeah, Llewellyn, just as tough to be able to stay in there with him all the way.
Yeah, it takes two to tango, doesn't it? And he was there for pretty much every second of the fight, trying to force himself on Ben. And like I say, it takes two to tango, credit to him as well.
Yeah, definitely. There's some beautiful right hands. He gives Ben plenty to work on in the gym. And straight away, that's something we'll be looking to correct.
He's probably a good example as well, Llewellyn, of not letting your lack of height, no offence, that sounds rude, not letting your lack of height be a disadvantage. He's used that in times in the fight to make himself a smaller target, loops those big shots over the top. They're out of your eye line. You don't quite see them come in the same as if a boxer was the same height of you, and that was something for Ben to overcome in this fight.
Yeah, 100%. Even throwing that backhand to his chest, you're taking away from maybe a left hook coming behind it. There was plenty of times, he threw a right combination and came off well with it. When
you got back to the change room with Ben, what was the mood, and what were the lessons to learn from this experience?
We were really content, happy with the performance because of the things he'd implemented after the first fight with Llewellyn. This is the rematch. He started pulling what we'd worked on in there. And yeah, it was really content with how he performed, but also really aware of what his ceiling might be if he starts doing things correctly.
Fantastic. We're back with the senior contest, this time at 82 kilograms, where IZAC BECK from Gwent Amateur Boxing Club faces KAIN Morris from Cwmcarn Amateur Boxing Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, another fantastic bout of boxing, a split decision, with the decision going to the blue corner.
A decision win there for IZAC BECK. Kieran, that was some really, really impressive work from what looks like a talented boxer.
Yeah, very, very neat, especially from the start. Maybe towards the end, fell apart a little bit with the pace of the fight, and KAIN Morris pushing in with his head a little bit. But and fantastic to watch there, IZAC BECK.
I know there's always a question of hard work and talent, but you can see quite clearly there. I'm sure IZAC does work hard, but there's a real natural talent for some of the work he was doing at mid and long range.
naturally found the
You
ring.
can't, like, you can improve, but you almost can't teach that instinct to do it as often and as well as he did do.
Yeah, definitely, and the little shifts of the footwork as well, just working his way around at an angle and coming back up with a clean uppercut, clean hook. It really is a natural gift.
I think one of the things that impressed me most with it was when he did his good work at mid and long range. He was on the front foot.
Yeah.
We often see, those long range boxers can often prefer to maybe circle the outskirts of the ring, get someone to overcommit and then take advantage. But he was very comfortable getting full torque in his punches whilst maintaining that distance.
Forward. Yeah. Although he did land it once or twice, step backhand, there was none of that waiting for that Morris to come forward. He wanted to keep Morris on the end of a really long jab, and that's the payoff you get for it.
And we kind of saw in that first round, he was very heavy and sharp on the jab, and then it kind of morphed into a left hook on the end of it as things developed. That shows a certain amount of ring intelligence there.
Yeah, definitely, and knowing your timing. I think there seems to be a clear bit of experience there, and the talent that he has really shone through.
Kane Morris, runner-up, second best on this occasion. Plenty of positives though. I think when you're in there with someone who is so skillful, you can only do what you can do, and he did that. He played his part, and he did come into it. And maybe that final minute and a half, he had some success there.
Yeah, definitely. You almost feel like it was a 4-round fight, like they used to be in the amateurs. You might have had a shout in the last round there. If Beck started falling apart as he did, we might have furthered on. But yeah, just too sharp for him on the night.
This episode is also brought to you by Sensimilia CBD. They have great products. You may have seen them across social media because they support many boxers in Wales, and we're so glad to have them on board supporting boxing in Wales. This YouTube show wouldn't be possible without the support of Sensimilia CBD, and they're great products. Check them out. We're dropping down an age category for our next contest. We're with youth boxers, where Nathan Price from Penrall Amateur Boxing Club faces Connor Fitzpatrick from Calcott Amateur Boxing Club.
A split decision, with the decision going to the blue corner.
A really impressive 3-rounder there. Kieran, Nathan Price from Penrall looks like a genuine talent there.
Yeah, excellent. Long range, long levers. I thought Fitzpatrick made a brilliant fight of it though.
Yeah,
absolutely
certainly.
fantastic. There was a count in the first. I think it was the first bleeding nose on Price, but real character to then carry on boxing excellently.
Nathan Price, we'll focus on him first. Some of the acceleration in his shots, where he was quick off the mark with 1s and 2s, but those 3s, 4s and beyond that, he really went through the gears well in this fight.
Yeah, definitely. And he's, you know, the dream amateur sort of, the frame is what he has there, and he's made it work excellently to his advantage.
You often see boxers with very long limbs for their weight categories. They can become the hunted, but he was the hunter,
Yeah.
I guess, in this contest.
Yeah, coming forward plenty of times, you know, boxed really well on the back foot too, and I think that's where maybe the levels between Fitzpatrick and Price was that he could do it going back.
A word for Fitzpatrick, you said just now you were impressed by that sheer desire that he showed to stick in there until the end, and he can take a lot of heart away from a performance like this.
You can only take positives from a fight like this because they both left it all in the ring. The only time you're disappointed with yourself when you come out of the ring is when you haven't tried hard enough, and these boys definitely tried hard.
I know it's been a theme of previous episodes, but it's probably the one that stands out to me the most on this episode. This is one way you'd love to see a rematch. You could see this 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
And I suspect it will always be a high quality fight like that one.
Yeah, definitely. It's the type of rivalry you look to have. In the amateurs, I boxed Ben Crocker 5 times, and I loved every time we done it, 'cause you genuinely didn't know which fight was going to come out on top. And to see, you know, a score of fights between 2 boxers in the amateurs is what, you know, Welsh boxing history, I feel like, is made of.
Yeah, and it doesn't just spur the boxers on themselves, does it? People get interested. Like every good boxer needs a good rival.
Yeah, definitely.
Like whether it's friendly or not.
Yeah, you buy into it. You know, I had a positive one with Crocker, with Jordan Thomas. I had 3 fights. He won 2 of them. I think two were in championships or something along those lines. You know, really great to look back on and people, you know, talk about it.
And we continue our action in the youth age category. At 62 kilograms, we have Lewis Jacobs from Mardy Amateur Boxing Club against Mike Jones from Cwmcarn Amateur Boxing Club.
And unanimous verdict, the blue corner.
A very impressive decision win for Lewis Jacobs. Kieran, it looked early on like he was really going to force that stoppage. A couple of standing counts in the first round, and although, you know, he maybe left it in the locker the more it developed, he was clearly a level above here and demonstrated some really good work.
yeah, actually my favourite fight of the night, this was. His performance in the first round for me was really breathtaking. I didn't think he put a foot wrong.
Do you think the referee could have been justified in halting that?
Yeah, there were points in that first round where he was mixing it up, almost hitting him at will, if you like. But by gosh, Mike Jones coming back and into it, staying in there all the way through. Fantastic performance from him too.
Yeah, Mike Jones maybe shot selection wise, maybe not on the same level, but every other attribute, to stay in there, plug away, and cause some of his own problems towards Jacobs towards the end of the fight. That's an achievement.
Yeah, it goes like what
the previous.
Yeah, what you've said previously about what you can take from a fight. When an amateur comes into my gym and I say to them, I can teach you how to punch, I can teach you how to box, but I can't teach you is to have that grit and desire. So you're the one who's got to bring it every day. He's the type of guy you can see bringing it every day.
Lewis Jacobs, you saw Brett Parry, a quality coach in his corner. I've been lucky to see Brett in the gym. What do you think Brett will be telling him in the aftermath of a fight like that?
Maybe to not put a foot wrong exactly like he did, and to dominate it from there on. I don't think any coach necessarily says, you need to get him out there early. It's always nice to look back and maybe think of a stoppage. But you want him to be able to box correctly for the full term. He's going to want that performance for the 3 rounds.
Yeah, and what does that come down to? Is that just experience?
Yeah, definitely. It's knowing how to pace yourself when you're in the ring. 50 odd fights in, when you can take your breaks. When you can. You've got 10 seconds left. You've got almost that internal clock. But until he gets to that point, he's got to find his way. And maybe it means doing more rounds with better boys in the gym. Maybe it means doing more sets of burpees at the end of training. But he'll get there, definitely.
I guess nothing can replicate, though, this experience on fight night, because if you're sparring, you might be friendly with your sparring partner, or you just might be more familiar with them, so it's not as full on as when you're under the lights on your local club show and both boxers want to win. Well,
it's a low pressure or high pressure environment. On a high pressure environment, you're taking a lot more oxygen in, you're tiring out a lot quicker, you've got the nervous energy, it's getting me riled up thinking about it now. The way that these guys box on the night, like I said, I was there, I could feel it. It was an electric performance there.
It was another very busy night of boxing, hosted by Cwmcarn Amateur Boxing Club, and here's the best of the rest.
boys club semi-final. The blue corner, looking up, IZAC. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got another split decision, and the winner is in the red corner. Ladies and gentlemen, a unanimous decision. The blue corner to the center. Referee has stopped the contest, round one, and the winner in the blue corner is Russell.
Stay there, boys, stay there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision, with the decision going to the blue corner. Ladies and gentlemen.
Step back.
In the red. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a split decision, and the red corner wins.
I'm sure you'll agree, really impressive action there from our youths and our juniors and our schoolboy boxers. We were impressed by them. We hope you were too. We hope you've enjoyed the action that we've seen here today. I know in the past we've highlighted maybe referee mistakes. I think it's equally fair that we take the opportunity to say the referees on all these fights tonight seem to do a very, very good job, and they're the volunteers who make this sport tick at the grassroots level. So well done to all of them. I'm sure, no doubt, they'll be doing it next weekend and the weekend after and so on again. Once again, thank you for joining Boxing in Wales. We're here on a regular basis, so check us out. Link up with us on all of our social media accounts. You'll find us on all the main social platforms. If you've got a show, if you've got a boxer that you think deserves a little bit of attention, get in touch with us. Slide into our DMs. Let us know about them. This show is all about discovering the best talent from the grassroots amateur boxing scene in Wales. Or maybe they're not talented. Maybe they're a starter. Maybe you want us to join us on that journey so we can start from the very first beginning, the very first punches they throw, all the way to the titles they're winning. I've talked long enough. My name's Dewi Powell. Thank you for joining us. This has been Kieran Gething. Kieran, thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.